Right, hello and welcome. This is Jerry Singh doing another beautiful webinar on behalf of BullBinary. Welcome everyone. I can see quite a few people here. So let us wait for 2-3 more minutes before we start out. And remember, you can always ask me questions in our questions tab in the GoToWebinar. All right, so let us start. How many of you are very new to binary trading as of yet? Because I will be basing my webinar according to the experience that you guys have. 1-2 months. Alan says 1-2 months. Okay, so it's still you're still pretty new. Anyone else? Guys, let's make this webinar as a very good teaching session. And the only way I can do it is that if you guys are actively participating and continuously talking to me like we are having a one-to-one conversation. If I'm just going to speak from one side, it's not really going to be beneficial for all of you. So let's make the most out of this webinar. So for those who don't know me, I'm Jerry Singh, and I've been trading binary options from the last few years. And and been honestly, after blowing quite a few number of accounts, finally I have gained my I have solidified my feet in this binary options world, and it has been working out pretty good so far. So I will be today I will be giving you one of my really good strategies, but for that I would require all of you to actively participate and ask me questions, because the more questions you ask me, the more questions you ask me, the better you are going to learn from all this. All right, good people are coming in, which is good. I always like to speak to more audience. Any other questions so far? If you guys want to know about me or the current challenges that you face, because if you mention them, I will be happy to answer them during the webinars. All right, awesome, beautiful. All right, so let us begin. And you have your eyes and ears open. This is going to be a very good webinar, just like the last time we had. And before we start, all right, let us begin. So once again, I'm Jerry Singh. I've been trading from past 2-3 years, and it has been going really good. So today's topic is one of the very basic topics for how to trade using trend lines. Last couple of weeks ago, we did a session on how to trade using supports and resistances, and I got really good feedback on that. People really enjoyed it, and I hope this is going to be even better. So time for a bit of a risk disclaimer. Me, Jerry Singh, I'm providing this information on behalf of BullBinary. However, the information presented here is provided by a third party, not BullBinary, for information purposes only, and does not constitute investment advice. Trading binary options is highly speculative and carries a high risk of high level of risk. You may sustain a loss or part of all of your invested capital. Therefore, do not speculate with capital that you cannot afford to lose. BullBinary is a brand name owned and operated by Spot Capital Markets Limited, a Cyprus investment firm licensed and authorized by Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission, commonly known as CISEC, under license number 2210/13. Spot Capital Markets Limited is located in Kanika Business Center, 319 28 October Street, second floor, Limassol, 3105, Cyprus. All right. So let us begin. Let me pull off my charts. As you guys should know, I personally don't use any MT4s. I use TradingView. It is much more user friendly, and there are a lot of tools that you can use. There are a lot of tools that you can possibly use. All right. So let us uh, jump on any pair. Let us jump on a higher time frame because it'll be easier. Okay. Let me pull out another chart. US CAD. All right, awesome. All right, how many of you have heard about trend lines? For those who are here for the first time, let me tell you guys, I don't use any indicators on my screen. I don't believe in indicators. The people who trade just based on indicators, I am pretty sure you might be facing a lot of losses. And I did that for a good 1 year and finally gave everything up. And that's when I realized that just having a bunch of indicators on my screen is not enough for me to consistently make profits in trading binary options. So that is when I left everything else. I dumped all my indicators. Let me tell you guys what I used to do before. All right. So I used to have an RSI. Then I used to have Bollinger Bands, definitely. People call it the Bollinger Band strategy. And then I used to have MACD, and I used to have a stochastic as well. All right. So this is what I used to have on my screen. I am pretty sure if you guys are new and you might have been searching on YouTube for some how to trade supports and resistances, and you might have done something like this in order to make a trade. And what you guys do, the most basic stuff, the most not so competitive stuff people do is people find out this. They draw lines like this. Now you see, just look at this line. You will see, oh, all my indicators are on an overbought condition. So now, what is going to happen? The price is going to fall. It is touching the top of a Bollinger Band. The RSI is quite overbought. It's above 70s. In fact, it's above 80s. My MACD is about to cross. My stochastic is about to cross. So I should take a put. Has anyone traded like this before? Yes or no? As I said, this is going to be a very interactive session. The more you guys participate, the better it is going to be. Otherwise, I can wrap it up in like 15 minutes and won't really be any helpful. I'm pretty sure most of you have done this. Alan says yes, Keval says yes, exactly. I've done this a lot, and trust me, this was the worst thing that can ever happen to me because these indicators, all right, these indicators are lagging indicators. They give you a signal after the price has already moved. They only show you what has happened in the price so far. They cannot tell you what is going to happen in the price after this. Does this line, what I've just said in the last sentences, does this make sense? Does this make sense, what I've said so far? Let me repeat. Indicators only tell you what the price has done so far. It cannot tell you what the price is going to do. Does this make sense so far? Alan, does it make sense? Keval, does it make sense? I can see quite a few people here. All right, I hope it makes sense because this is what people have been doing so far. This is what has been happening in this industry, and no wonder people are losing money. This is the reason people lose money. Now, as I said, have a look on this indicator. Now, again, it looks really good that the price is going up, RSI is going up. It should come down. But as I said earlier in my previous webinar as well, indicators are only meant to, what indicators do is they just calculate a mathematical average of the past 7 or 8 candles, depending on the number that you put in, and then they just give you a value. Is this current candle on the higher average side of the past 14 candles, or is it on the lower average side? That's all indicators do. So what I personally did was I dumped all these indicators because what happens is all these indicators, they will give you conflicting signals. One of the indicators, for example, now you see this MACD has just crossed the 0 line. So the price should still keep going up, right? And but this stochastic is about to cross to the downside. So what should I do? Should I take a call or should I take a put? Right now, see, this is where the price is giving you conflicting signals. The market doesn't move this way. Mark my words again. Market doesn't move based on indicators. It is just, indicators are just meant to indicate. They are not meant to tell you what is going to happen after a certain price has already moved. So what I personally did, I dumped all my indicators. I cleaned everything off and I'm like, all right, this is all I want to do and that's all I need. So now when I trade, I don't use any of this stuff. Last webinar, which was a couple of weeks ago, we did how to trade using support and resistances. Now we're going to do the same webinar using trend lines. Now, how do we trade using trend lines? Now, for using strategies like this, you don't need any indicators whatsoever. So one of the very basic example is, first of all, you need 2 points to make a line. Agreed? You need 2 points to make a line. For example, last time I did the support and resistances. So this was a horizontal line. So I need at least 2 points. For example, this section and this section. Now I can see both are resting on the same line. So I can draw a line here. Let me make it a bit thick and let me color it black. I like the color black. All right. So you see now the price is perfectly holding this section at the bottom, right? So far so good. So now you know when the price is holding this section, if the price comes down here, you know what to do here. You know that you're going to do a call, provided the price comes down here, right? So far so good. Now try to understand the mentality behind taking these trades, because trading is not a copy or paste. Trading doesn't work on those indicators or those softwares. Imagine, think about it. If any particular software was able to correctly predict the market every time, why would anyone sell that particular indicator or a software for $50 or $100? Doesn't make sense. Binary options, this market is unlimited. You can make hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. Why would anyone sell that for only $100 or $50? And everyone falls into that trap. I'm pretty sure some of you might have spent money on that. You would have regretted it because it doesn't work that way. Now, last time we discussed supports and resistances. Now we're going to follow the same principle. For example, now you see I have this, I have my chart, so I'm going to draw my line. Now you see, perfect line. Make sense? Very simple. Yep, Grant says, all right, yes, I agree with you exactly. I've spent a lot of money on that, and I still feel sorry for all that stupid things I did in my life. I mean, I would have better spent that money, you know, learning from a good trader or taking a good price action education course, other than dumping my money on those stupid indicators or EAs and software. It doesn't work that way. So, all right, now here you go. So now I know that I have 1 point here. Now see, this is my starting point, right? So I have 1 point here, the price is being held. Then I have another point here, the price is being held. Then I have another point here, the price is being held in this section. What will happen when the price comes here? What will happen here? Anyone has any idea what will the price do when the price comes back on this line? Anyone? What will the price do? Should we take a call or should we take a put? It bounces. Exactly. It will bounce. What will we do? We'll do a call here. Simple. Very simple. Trading is as simple and as difficult as you want to make it. Exactly. Take a call. Very easy. Was there anything difficult in this? It's just because you guys are not able to see this line clearly. That's all. You are not looking at this exactly. It's a support trend line. Let me actually type it out for you. Support trend line. This is what it is. It's a support trend line. All right, now give me one example. What happens when a support is broken? Anyone? What happens when a support is broken? New resistance, Abdul, exactly. Very good. Support becomes resistance. Let me type this out for you as well. Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support, right? So now over here, now you know that the support has been broken. So what will happen next? The trend line will become a resistance. Once it comes back to simple. Anything difficult in this? Now, of course, it seems like everything is very nice and easy, and when you actually do this stuff, it's a completely different scenario. I agree, all right? But again, let's continue with this so far, and by the end of the webinar, I will actually give you a much better way of looking at all this stuff. So just stick around with me, and I'll give you much better opportunities where you can learn this stuff on your own time, even when I'm not around. All right, so now this is a very simple one, right? Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. Now let us go for another chart and see if we can do the same stuff on that chart. Okay. So let me go down on a lower time frame. Now you see the price is perfectly holding down. All right, now you see the price is going to do this. Now, of course, you cannot win every damn trade. It doesn't work that way. Now you see this one broke the trend line, but you'll see after that this line was perfectly held. So every time the price came out to this level, I will do a put, I'll do a put, I'll do a put. Very, very simple stuff. The easier you make it, the better it will be. Of course, you cannot win every trade. It doesn't work that way. But the idea is that you win majority of your trades. And that is what is going to help you make this trading very, very easy. Now, any questions so far? I'm doing very basic stuff, very newbie stuff. I haven't really jumped onto any of the advanced stuff as of yet. So is everything clear so far so I can move forward? Any questions so far? I'm more than happy to answer. We're gonna make the most of our time. We have a very limited time. All right. So the more you guys are gonna participate, the better it will be. And even you can keep in touch with me even after the webinar, and we can sort out. We can help you. I can give you more tips and tricks. What about time frames? Again, doesn't matter which time frame you're on. It works the same way on an M1. It works the same way on an M5, on M15. On H1, H4, daily, even monthly. Let us go on a monthly. Let us discuss the time frames now. Now, let's go on a monthly. What do you see here? This is weekly, sorry. The same stuff. Anything else? This. What else am I looking at? I'm looking at this. See that? Support trend line, broken became resistance, again became resistance. Simple. Let's jump down. M1. Everyone loves M1, doesn't they? Everyone loves M1 because it is easier, it is faster, and it is correct. I mean, why do you want to wait for 1 week if you can just finish the trade in 1 minute and then? All right. Now you see this one is tending to break, and it is going to happen. And trend prices and every support or resistance line, it is eventually going to break at some point of time. All right. So what you can do is you can always look for, how do I put it in words? it is going to break at some point of time eventually. What you can always look for, this is where your money management comes in. For example, if you had a say a $10 or $20 trade over here, you did a put over here at this trend line, but it failed. So what are you going to do next time? Now, only using this simple method, these simple methods, you will see that we will be easily achieving 70% win rate. So even if this one loses, what you can do is you can jump onto the next trade on any other pair, and the next trade will be $20. Simple. And it becomes even more easier if you are using BullBinary. I'll show you how as soon as we finish this webinar. But you will see that the trend lines work both ways. All right, it works as a support, it works as a resistance. Now you see, look at this, perfectly held here, perfectly held here. This one broke, false breakout, perfectly held here, again perfectly held here. If you were trading this trend line, I mean, if you were watching this, you would have won this one, you would have won this trade, then you should have won, you should have lost this one, you should have won this, you should have won this. Again, it bounced and touched that trend line, right? I'm not exactly sure of which question. Again, it bounced and touched that trend line. I'm not getting what do you mean by that? So even if you were watching just this this particular trend line, you see within a matter of a couple of hours, you will be winning at least. You will be winning. Let me bring out my. You will be winning this one. You will be winning this one and this one. All right. So these are the trades that you should be very easily winning. So again, as I said, what time period should I use if I spot a trend reversal? Again, depends on the time frame. If you are using a 5-minute time frame, you can give it 5 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, because it is going to completely reverse from there. It doesn't really matter. It's a big hype around expiry times, but it is as easy as you make it. I mean, if you are using a M1, you should give it 2 minutes or 3 minutes. If you're using M5, you should give it 2 candles or 3 candles. That is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes. All right, let's continue with our trend lines. I'm gonna jump onto a couple of more charts. This is going to be a short session, and I'm going to jump on a couple of more charts. And this is some extremely difficult stuff that I do on my other training programs. So now you see, again, USD CHF looking like a very nice simple chart. See what is happening here. The price is just simply following the trend line. Now, even if you were doing Forex, you would have done a call here. You could have bought here, perfectly touched your trend line, then came up. Now you see, you would be so much in the money by now. Even if you did it on, say, a daily time frame, or even on a weekly time frame for your binary options, or even Forex, whichever methods you want to use. I personally suggest binary, because with Forex is you really have to watch your trades, and it really screws up with your mentality. Like every second your price is going up and down, up and down, up and down. With binary, if you have $100, if you have a trade of $100, you know that you're gonna get 80, and the maximum you can lose is 100. And that gets even better with BullBinary. I'll show you in the end how. But even if worst case scenario that you will lose your $100, but if you're doing Forex, you will see that you can actually lose more than 100. You can lose 200. You can lose 300, depending on how far your stop loss is. So in Forex, you don't really have to. In binary, you don't really have to worry about all that stuff. It becomes very, very easy. All you have to worry about is the entry point, and everything else is taken care of. Now, again, we're doing the same stuff. I have another trend line over here. What I'm trying to teach you guys is reversals. What I'm trying to teach you guys is how these trend lines behave as support and resistance. Now you see this trend line was being very nicely held over here, right? Now see this yellow thing. This is my reversal point. Another a bit far away, but it was there. Another one. Now once it broke, what did it do? See, that same became as resistance. Now you see my red one. The same behave as resistance. Even currently, it is looking as a resistance. All right. So it is gonna be as simple and as easy as you're gonna make it. Now I had another trend line over here. All right. Now you see where the price is coming off. Every trend line is being eventually used. It was coming from here. Once it broke, it came down. Now you see, could have done another call here. Would have been a beautiful trade. Very easy stuff, very nice. And the more easy you make it, the better it is going to work out. Let us pick up a couple of more pairs and you will see that it works the same way on every pair that you come across. Now you see euro, this is euro JPY. It's a very nice pattern. I have been trading this pair from last 2 weeks. I've been continuously doing puts on these pairs, and it has been brilliant, has worked like a charm. Now you again, see again, this was a false breakout, but if you did a call here, you would have won. Then you could have done two points. Then the third point comes down, fourth point comes down. Then the bottom line breaks. The bottom line becomes the resistance. Then it becomes another trend line. Now it didn't come all the way up here, but you will realize that there is another trend line. See that? So now you can do this. Now you can do this. Again, if the price came up here, now the price hasn't actually come down there. So you will see there is another trend line. So there are trend lines within trend lines within trend lines, just like we have candles within candles within candles. This is how it works. Very easy, very basic stuff. Now, even if I draw a trend line at the bottom, you will see that it behaves as a support. See? So this is where you can do a call, you can do a call, you can do a call. Very easy stuff. Now, let me tell you how you can. Let me tell you how this can be used as I said, there is not much I can teach about trend lines just in 15-20 minutes.